Hey, welcome back. I'm really glad you're here today. Wherever you are right now, whether you're sitting at your desk, lying on your bed, or just taking a little break from your day, you're in the right place.
And if this is your first time here, hi, welcome. You just found something good. I'm Eric.
And I'm Lily, and we are genuinely happy you showed up today, because what we're talking about today, I think a lot of you have been waiting for this conversation without even knowing it.
We're talking about consistency, staying consistent with your English, not just on the good days, not just when you feel motivated, but every single day, even the messy ones.
And if you're at a B1 level, meaning you understand English conversations, but sometimes things feel just a little out of reach, this episode is made for you. You're going to feel right at home here.
Okay, so let me ask you something, and I want you to be honest, just with yourself. Nobody's watching. How many times have you started learning English and then quietly stopped? You downloaded the app, you watched the videos, maybe you even bought a notebook, a nice one with a pretty cover, because somehow the right notebook was going to make everything click this time.
The Notebook. Eric, why is The Notebook always part of the story?
It's always part of the story. And for the first few days, it's beautiful. You're writing vocabulary, you're feeling good, you're thinking, why did I wait so long to do this?
And then life happens. One busy day turns into two turns into a week, and the notebook is still sitting there, open to page 2, looking at you.
Just staring.
And you tell yourself, and this is the part that gets me every time, you say, I'll start again on Monday.
Monday. Always Monday. Monday is carrying so much weight that it didn't ask for.
Some of you listening right now, I know you're smiling, because this isn't just an English learning story. This is your story, and that is exactly why we're here today. So let's talk about what's actually happening. Because I don't think it's laziness. I really don't. And I think somewhere inside, you don't think it's laziness either.
Right, because lazy people don't download apps. Lazy people don't buy notebooks. Lazy people don't feel guilty about missing a day. And you do. That guilt is actually proof that you care.
That's such a good point. The guilt means something. It means you want this. You just haven't found the right way to hold on to it yet.
And here's what I think is really going on. It's something called all or nothing thinking. And it sounds exactly like what it is. You either do everything perfectly, or you feel like you've done nothing at all.
So if you miss one day of studying English, just one day, your mind doesn't say, okay, I missed one day. Your mind says, I failed. I have to start over. Everything is ruined.
Which is dramatic, but also completely human. We all do it.
All or nothing thinking is basically when there's no middle ground in your head. It's either perfect or it's pointless. And that kind of thinking, it's exhausting because perfection is impossible. So you end up feeling like you're failing constantly.
And then here's what happens next. You feel bad about missing a day, so you avoid the app because opening it reminds you that you failed. So you avoid it more, and then a week passes, and now it feels like too much time has gone by to even go back.
It's a cycle. Miss one day, feel guilty, avoid it. Miss more days, feel worse, avoid it even more. And nobody talks about this part. Everyone just says, stay motivated. But nobody explains why the motivation disappears in the first place.
Because motivation is, honestly, it's not reliable. And I know that sounds strange to say, but wait, think about it. Do you feel motivated to brush your teeth every morning?
I mean, no, not really. Nobody wakes up at 7 in the morning like, yes, toothbrush time. I've been waiting for this.
Exactly. But you do it anyway, every single day, without thinking, without needing to feel inspired, because it's just part of your day. It's a habit.
And that word, Habit is the key to everything we're talking about today. Because motivation comes and goes. It's like the weather. Some days it's sunny, some days it's completely gray. But a habit doesn't care about the weather.
There's actually a technique called habit stacking. And it sounds fancy, but it's actually very simple. Habit stacking means you attach a new habit, like studying English, to something you already do every day without thinking.
So for example, you already make coffee every morning, right? Every single day, without fail. So you say, while the coffee is brewing, I will listen to 5 minutes of English. You're not adding something new to your day. You're just placing it next to something that already exists.
Or maybe it's after lunch, or right before you sleep. The specific time doesn't matter as much as the anchor, that existing habit that pulls the new one along with it.
I know someone who listens to an English podcast every time they wash the dishes. Every single time. She didn't even think of it as studying. She just thought of it as dish time is English time. And 8 months later, she could hold full conversations.
8 months of dish time? That's kind of beautiful, actually.
It really is. Because here's the thing, and I want you to really hear this. The problem was never your level. It was never your vocabulary. It was never how good or bad your English is right now. The problem was that English had no place in your day. It had no anchor. It was always the thing you were going to do later.
And later, as we all know, never really comes.
But today can.
Okay, so I want to tell you about 2 people. And these are real situations. I'm just not using their names.
Okay, I'm listening.
So the first person, let's call him Person A. He decides he's going to learn English seriously, and he goes all in. 2 hours every single day. Vocabulary lists, grammar exercises, YouTube videos, everything. Full commitment.
That sounds intense.
It was intense. And for the first 3 weeks, he was doing amazing. He was genuinely improving. But then work got busy, and he missed 1 day, and then another. And because he was used to doing 2 full hours, anything less felt like failure. So he stopped completely.
All or nothing thinking. Right there.
Exactly. And 3 months passed. 3 months. And when he finally came back to it, he felt like he was starting from zero. All that progress just buried under 3 months of nothing.
And then there's Person B.
Person B. She decided she was going to do 10 minutes a day. Just 10. Sometimes she did more, maybe 20, maybe 30, but the minimum was always 10 minutes.
10 minutes sounds almost too small, right? Like, can you actually learn anything in 10 minutes?
That's what everyone thinks. But here's the thing. She never stopped. When life got busy, she did 10 minutes. When she was tired, she did 10 minutes. When she was traveling, she found 10 minutes. And 8 months later, she was still going, still learning, still growing.
And I think what's so powerful about that is she never had to restart. She never had that horrible feeling of, I've lost everything, I have to go back to the beginning, because she never fully walked away.
The goal isn't to study a lot. The goal is to never fully stop.
Say that again?
The goal isn't to study a lot. The goal is to never fully stop. Because small and consistent will always, always beat big and occasional.
There's actually a phrase for this feeling of never stopping. People call it keeping the streak alive. A streak just means a continuous run of something. Like, I've studied English every day for 30 days. That's a 30-day streak.
And streaks are interesting because once you have one, you don't want to break it. It creates its own motivation. You start protecting it.
It's like, okay, this is going to sound a little silly, but it's like when you're playing a mobile game and you have a 7-day login reward. And on day 6, you are exhausted and you just want to sleep, but you open the game for 30 seconds just to keep the streak.
That is not silly at all. That is literally human psychology. We are wired to protect streaks. We hate losing something we've been building.
So use that. Use that same energy for your English.
And here's something else that nobody talks about enough. Small wins. Every time you understand a sentence without rewinding, every time you catch a word you didn't know last week, every time you say something in English and it comes out right, that's a small win.
And small wins matter more than people think, because they don't just feel good in the moment, they actually change the way you see yourself.
Hold on, say more about that, because I think that's really important.
Okay, so when you start collecting small wins, something shifts. You stop thinking, I am someone who is trying to learn English, and you start thinking, I am someone who learns English. You know what I mean? It becomes part of your identity.
That's the difference. Trying to learn versus just learning. One feels like a struggle. The other feels like who you are.
And once it becomes who you are, you don't need motivation anymore. You don't need the perfect app or the right notebook or a Monday to start fresh. You just do it. The way you drink water, the way you breathe.
And there's a beautiful thing that happens when you stay consistent over time. Even with just 10 minutes a day, it compounds. Each day builds on the last one. Your vocabulary grows without you even trying. Your ear gets sharper. Things that used to feel impossible start feeling familiar.
The compound effect. That's what it's called. Small efforts, repeated consistently, that grow into something much bigger than they looked at the start.
Like interest in a bank account. You put in a little every day, and one day you look up and think, wait, when did I get this good?
And that moment, that, wait, when did this happen moment, that is worth every single 10-minute session you showed up for.
Even the ones where you were half asleep.
Especially those ones. So let's bring this home, because I don't want you to finish this episode and feel overwhelmed. I don't want you to walk away with a huge list of things you have to change. That's not what this is.
Right. This isn't a homework assignment. This is just a conversation between people who get it.
So here's what I want you to take from today. Just 3 small anchors. 3 tiny things you can attach your English to starting tomorrow. Not Monday, tomorrow.
Anchor 1, your morning drink. Whether it's chai, coffee, water, whatever you have first thing in the morning. While you're making it or drinking it, put on 1 English video. 1. That's it. 5 minutes. You're already awake. You're already in the kitchen. Just let English be there with you.
Anchor 2, your commute. If you travel to work or school, that time is gold. Instead of scrolling, put in your earphones and listen to English. A podcast, a conversation, even a song in English that you try to understand. Your commute just became a classroom, and nobody around you even knows. Anchor 3, the last 5 minutes before you sleep. Don't study, don't do exercises. Just review 1 word, 1 phrase, 1 thing you heard today that stayed with you. Let it be the last thing your mind holds before you drift off.
And here's the most important thing I want to say before we close. And I mean this genuinely. You watched this video today. You listened all the way to this point. That is not nothing. That counts. That is your English for today. And you should feel good about it.
Consistency isn't about being perfect. It's about never fully walking away. It's about coming back, even after a break, even after a busy week, even after 3 months of silence. Coming back is not starting over. Coming back is continuing.
Coming back is continuing. I really like that.
You're not behind. You're not too late. You're just here. And here is exactly the right place to be.
Okay, before we go, we want to do something we do every episode.
we're going to quickly go through the key words and phrases from today's conversation, because we want you to walk away not just feeling good, but actually having learned something concrete.
All or nothing thinking. This is when your mind sees only two options: perfect success or complete failure. Nothing in between. If you miss one day and feel like you've ruined everything, that's all or nothing thinking. Habit stacking. This means attaching a new habit to an existing one. You already make tea every morning, so you stack English on top of it. New habit, old anchor. Sustainable. This means something you can keep doing for a long time without burning out. 10 minutes a day is sustainable. 3 hours a day, for most people, is not.
Build momentum. Momentum means the energy that builds when you keep moving, like a ball rolling down a hill. The longer it rolls, the faster it goes. Every day you study, you build a little more momentum.
The compound effect. Small actions repeated every day that grow into something much larger over time. Your English compounds, just like money in a bank. A little every day becomes a lot over months.
Keep the streak alive. A streak is a continuous run of something, like studying every day for 2 weeks. And once you have a streak, you naturally want to protect it. Use that feeling. Let it pull you forward.
And finally, small wins. These are the tiny moments of progress that happen every day if you pay attention. Understanding a word you didn't know before, catching a joke in English, finishing an episode without subtitles. Small wins are real wins.
And they add up. They always add up.
Okay, we have one question for you before you go, and we genuinely want to know. What time of day do you study English? Are you a morning person, tea in hand, earphones in? Or are you the whenever I remember type?
No judgment, truly. We just want to know. Drop it in the comments below. And if you want, tell us your current streak too, even if it's day 1, especially if it's day 1.
Thank you for spending this time with us today. Really. Take care of yourself, and we'll see you in the next one.
Bye for now.